I haven't officially started this video yet. This is just a little thing I was thinking about as I was walking to my favorite place to actually film my videos. And so I haven't put on my shirt that isn't all sweaty like this one. It's hot. I'm in the tropics. I'm in Veracruz, Boca del Rio, Veracruz. I'm heading toward the ocean. In my apartment is a tall ceiling. I don't have a lot in it, and it echoes, so it doesn't really resonate very well when I'm talking. You can hear the echo. If I go out on my balcony, dogs are barking, motorcycles are going by the street. So I found the best thing to do is to go down to the ocean. I'd rather have the ocean waves in the background. I think you'd rather have the ocean waves in the background than a whole mess of dogs barking and cars and trucks going by with loudspeakers advertising stuff. Although it's still early, it's Sunday morning. And so I wanted to just kind of talk to you about maybe what your experiences have been growing up in school as far as geography. I grew up in the Chicago suburbs. I don't recall ever learning anything about the country of Mexico, or for that matter, Central America, South America, and even Canada. I just don't think they taught anything about that. I remember, I don't know if it was 3rd or 4th grade, and in our textbook we took a trip around the world, and the first stop was New York City, and then the next stop was Reykjavik, Iceland, and then on to Europe. And I remember learning about that Switzerland makes cheese and watches, that there's a big clock in England called Big Ben. Things like that. That's what I remember, but nothing about Mexico or those other places that I mentioned. Here's the ocean. Coming up to my shady spot where I'm starting to do filming under these palm trees right here. You can check it out. Remember, I haven't started the video yet. There's the palm trees right there. As I remember, the very first time I went to Mexico was actually on a business conference to Cancun. That was the first time. Now Cancun, as one travel agent Fred said to me one time, Cancun is no more than a suburb of Miami. It's not really Mexico. Sure, it's in the country Mexico, but it isn't really Mexico. It's an Americanized version. It's Las Vegas with a beach. And so I really didn't see Mexico, but I did go to the physical country by going to Cancun. At that time, I had no idea the size of the country. I didn't know that it was slightly bigger than all of the Western European countries put together, the landmass. I didn't know that there were some 68 different indigenous languages spoken throughout the country, 69 if you include Spanish. I didn't know that Spanish is not the official language of Mexico. There is no official language. It just happens to be the one that's mostly spoken, although not everywhere. And also, maybe like you, I had no idea that Mexico had states. Just never thought about it. 32 of them now. That's how many states there are. And so, a lot of us really don't know much about Mexico other than what we hear commercially advertised places, the sun and sand places, the places that have the all-inclusive resorts like Cancun and different places like Puerto Vallarta, Cabo San Lucas, where the cruise ships go. Those are the ones that are advertised. Those are the moneymaker tourism places here in Mexico. And that area, all those areas of the sun and sand resort beach locations comprise less than 1% of the total area of Mexico. And that's where most people go, less than 1%. So what's up with the other 99%? What's the story? That's what I investigate. So if you're watching my YouTube channel, and thank you for watching it, by the way, if this is your first time, welcome. And if you've seen some of my other videos, welcome back. You're not going to see on my videos aerial views of Cancun beaches and the big resorts and, you know, half-naked women in bikinis and, you know, and all that touristy stuff. That's not what this video is about. I actually delve into the real side of Mexico. What's that other 99% like? What happens? What's the history? What's the culture? What about the people? And that's what you should be watching my YouTube travel channel about, is if you are interested in learning about Mexico. Not the fancy schmancy resort hotels and the fancy dinners and, you know, that you can have at these resorts, but of the colonial cities, of places like Veracruz, where in the 6 years that I've lived here in Boca del Rio, adjacent to the city of Veracruz, well, there's, I don't know, 600,000 or 700,000 people living here. I have yet to see another foreigner. I know some of them live here. I've seen it online. Never met them, never ran across them. I'm it. Everything is pure Mexican here, okay? Latino. They speak Spanish. Not many people speak English, and that's what you're going to find around most of the country. So if you're what I call a hardy traveler, someone who is adventurous, someone who is curious about the world, about learning more about the countries you visit, then the tours that I provide are the ones that are the best. Buenos dias. I couldn't say good morning to her. She doesn't speak English. Anyway, I think I'm going to start this video now, and so I'm going to make the transformation to my non-sweaty shirt. Here we go. Ta-da! Look at that. Non-sweaty shirt on. Now I'm going to look more official. Hi everybody, I'm Mike Vondruska with Explore Mexico with me, Mike Vondruska. And in this video, I ran across some time ago, not recently, maybe a year ago or so, I was out in Colima, the state of Colima, which is more on the western side. In fact, the west side of the state of Colima here in Mexico butts up against the Pacific Ocean. And I was with one of my guides there that is a friend, and also when we have trips out there, he guides. And he was showing me around, and we were, I believe it was the city of Colima. A lot of the states here in Mexico, the capital city is the same as the name of the state. So you have Zacatecas, just like New York. You have Durango, you have Aguascalientes, and you have Colima. I'm gonna show you what I learned there, and this has to do with bird cages without birds and prostitutes hanging outside of brothels. So it's a short video. I shot this with a camera, so it's vertical, so it doesn't fill up the whole, you know, the whole screen. That's just what it is. And I thought you might be interested in it. So take a look. Here we go. Hey, we're here in the city of Colima, which is closer to the Pacific side, just about 4 hours outside of the city of Guadalajara West. And we're in this traditional market. And as you can see behind me, there are all these bird cages. And so I had to ask the guide, I said, do people really like to have birds as pets? And they said, well, actually, they buy the cages because it's for decoration, and also as a statement that if they don't put a bird in there, it's a statement that birds should be free. And I find that rather interesting. You never know what you're going to find in Mexico.
Welcome. We're at the Museum of Popular Arts in Colima, and I wanted to show you these very interesting dolls. You have them over here. They are called Lupitas, And if you look closely, they're made out of paper mache, but they used to be called Lupitas, and the most known version of them is that in the 1930s, 1940s, they were made. But if you look closely, they are, the way they're dressed, the way they have their makeup, they're actually prostitutes. And people would hang them outside the houses, and that's where you would know that they were prostitutes in there. An interesting fact from Mexico.
So what'd you think about those Lupitas, those little dolls? Lupita is just a shortened version of the girl's name, which is a popular name, Guadalupe. Lupita, Guadalupe, Michael, Mike, stuff like that. I was looking online to find out a little bit more information about Lupitas. And they basically came into being about 200 years ago in central Mexico. And porcelain dolls for poor people were expensive to give to their children, to their daughters. And they would make out of paper mache these dolls, and that's what these Lupitas are basically made of, is some kind of concoction, paper mache type thing. And then somehow or other they got to be used in prostitution. And so it's interesting that a lot of times, not only could you walk down the street and you could see what houses were actually brothels by these dolls hanging outside, but in some instances each doll represented one of the women that you could be with. And you got to learn, maybe they even looked like each other, I don't know. But you got to learn that doll represented, I don't know, Maria, and this doll was Guadalupe, and you get the idea. And so you knew who was working that day by actually seeing what dolls were hanging outside. Interesting. The other thing is, I had read that also women who were married to men, if they found out that the man was cheating on her, sometimes she would go out and get one of these prostitute dolls, write the name of her husband's mistress on the doll, hang it up, and then when he came home from work or business or whatever, he would immediately be informed that the jig was up and his wife knew what was going on. So I found that interesting too. There's so much to learn when you go to different countries if you get outside of the commercialized, advertised sun and sand places that have absolutely nothing to do with the actual traditions, history, and cultures of that country, like here in Mexico. Hey everybody, if you like this video, then make sure you subscribe, stay informed, press the bell, and all that fun stuff. I'll see you in the next video. As they say here in Mexico, nos vemos pronto. See you soon.